everyone, welcome back to the Faithful You Knitting Podcast. My name's Hazel and I'm coming to you from Wales in the United Kingdom. This is a spinning, weaving, hand dyeing, sometimes sewing, sometimes crochet podcast, and I've fallen down a bit of a rabbit hole lately of English paper piecing. I'm just fixing the sleeve on my jumper, just a sec. Hope you're all doing well, and I hope you're all having a lovely week. I hope you've had a lot of crafty time since I last saw you. I got a lot of good feedback about my craft room. Thank you for watching my video. And yeah, I'm thinking of doing a few bits of change. Excuse the piece of wood in the background. That's to do a dado rail in the little toilet next door. And yeah, I'm having a think of how my room is organised. And this cupboard here is getting on my nerves. So I'm thinking of moving it. What I'm thinking is this is going to move along here. And I really want to get my floor loom in here. I did a video a couple of years ago about the floor loom in my shed down the garden when I renovated the shed to put the floor loom in there. It was far too damp, it was far too wet. The garden's far too wet for me to get up there to do any weaving. And yeah, it just didn't work. I didn't want the loom to get damaged with all the water. And yeah, I just thought it's just not suitable for up there. So I tried putting it in my workroom when I had the workroom in the garage. It didn't work in there either because I had nowhere to pull it out to be able to get behind to sort out the warp thread and the raddle and all that sort of stuff. And I just never got round to using it. Now I want to learn how to use it. And I was watching Kirsten from what was called Voolenvine Yarns. I think it's Kirsten Leher. I think that's her name. I'll pop her in a link in the description bar below. But I was watching her last two videos and her mother-in-law gave her a floor loom. And it's a beautiful loom. She's got a Harris floor loom. Now mine is a Dryad floor loom and it's about 100 years old. I think it's about 1910, something like that. 1900, 1910. And that's why I want to use it because it's an antique. But she was using hers. She was showing the loom and giving the story of the loom, and she was showing what she's woven on it. And I thought, you know, it's no good in the garage. I need to get it out. I need to get using it. And I just thought she's learned how to use hers, so why can't I learn to use mine? Now she was saying there's a couple of websites online. I'll put a link in the description bar for her video if I can, for that video. And she was saying that there's a couple of places online where she's been. There was the Sweet Georgia podcast, which she's very good. She does an awful lot of weaving. And there was another couple which I've not heard of before, but I thought to check them out. She said you can do it as an £10 a month thing, and you can you can do it as you pay as you go, and you can cancel it if you don't want it. Now I thought that would suit me fine. So I thought I'd have a look and see if I can subscribe to a floor loom one on how to dress the loom and how to warp it up, which I think is the same thing, but don't quote me on it. And yeah, just how to get started with it really, because I would really like to weave fabric, and I also want to use it for weaving my rugs as well, because I could use it as a rug loom and just not put as many threads on the loom through as many holes. So that's what I'm thinking, because I could weave more than one rug at a time then and do more than one fleece at a time. So that would be really handy for me and take up very little space in here. I'm warm in here, can use it when my husband's at work. And yeah, it'd just be really suitable. So that was the first thing. So yeah, I've been doing English paper piecing. I've also been doing a little bit of crochet, but it's not worth showing you that because it's only dishcloth. So you don't want to see my dishcloths, do you? So yeah, it's not really worth me showing you that. But I thought I'd show you my English paper piecing. I'm really proud of myself. It's something I've never done before. I've always looked in envy at Kate from the Last Homely House and at her beautiful rugs, her beautiful patchwork and quilts and patchwork curtains, which I want to make for my kitchen. And yeah, I've always just looked on in envy at her, and I'm really proud of myself. It was Maria, the lovely Maria, and she said, why don't we do it together? So that's what we decided to do, and she's been doing her little bit and I've been doing my little bit. Now I don't know whether I've done it right. I really don't care whether I've done it right. I'm proud of myself for what I've achieved so far. And like Unexpected Gypsy says, she says, if you don't get started, how will you know? So I've started, and yeah, I know that it's something that I'm going to really enjoy doing, because doing the hexagons has been really meditative. It's been really relaxing, and it's something that you can just concentrate on and forget all your worries and forget all your things that are going on in your head, which any menopause woman knows that you've always got a lot of stuff going on in your head. And this is just a great craft just to shut all the stress out, shut all the negativity out, and just get on with doing your crafting. So I've done quite a few. I've done quite a few hexagons. These are my hexagons. I've done, I think I've done about 40. How many have I got left? I've got 4 left. So I've done 46 so far, and they're all different patterns. There's that one. There's a stripe. I've got various flowers as well. I've got some spots which are very in keeping with my love of vintage at the moment. Some more flowers. And yeah, as I say, I've done 46. There's some nice pinks in some of them. And these were just off Temu. I got these on Temu. And I think it's about £1, I think, for the fabric. Now it's only polyester, and I don't really enjoy sewing with polyester because it's a bit rough on your hands. But yeah, just to start, the hexagons come pre-cut like this. And I bought a set which I showed you a while ago, if I can find it. I bought this set, and it came with, if it's in here, I don't know if I put it back or if I put it somewhere else. Here it is. It came with the little plastic die cut, and it comes with the little pieces of cardboard as well. So I had a look to see what size would fit with mine, and it happened to be a 1.5, I think. Is it a 1.5? Yeah, it's a 1.5 inch. And I managed to find these as well. And this was a set of different sized hexagons. And just to get started, it's ideal because it shows you where you can put your threads in those holes there. And yeah, it's the size of the thing without the thread. So ideal, absolutely ideal. So it goes up to a 5 inch. There's a 1.5, a 2, a 5, and a 3. And I've got a 1.5 inch. Oh, here it is. In this one, in the see-through plastic. Now, I'm assuming you peel the paper off the back. But yeah, Temu, they sell some great stuff. Yeah, you just peel the paper off the back. It's only stuck on. And then that reveals your see-through hexagon. So yeah, I got different shapes. I got this one, and it came as a set, and it's ideal. I got this little shape here. Oh, sugar, throwing me coffee all over the place. I got some really tiny ones, a little kite shape, and a bigger kite shape. So there's plenty to keep me going in there. I'm very pleased with this, extremely pleased with this. And yeah, I've just thrown coffee on one of my squares. Never mind, anyway. It's only a bit of fun. I'm going to make a journal cover out of it. I wanted to do for ages a crafting journal, you know, for making ideas, a bit of drawing, a bit of doodling. I would like to learn to draw. I'd like to learn to sketch. So, I mean, when is the right time to start these things, as Unexpected Gypsy says? I mean, could be today, could be tomorrow. I mean, none of us know how long we've got left, do we? I mean, I could have another 40 years on this planet. I could have another day. But however long I've got, I just thought, I've got to start. I've got to make a start somewhere. So I'd encourage you that if you've been thinking of doing English paper piecing, do have a go. Do make a start, because none of us know how long we've got, do we? And it could be something that you really find that you really enjoy, that you can do sitting there. If you're not very mobile, you can sit there and do it on the couch. If you're more elderly, it's something you can do if you've got a good pair of glasses. I can't do anything without my glasses. And yeah, I've left them on the bed. But anyway, I'll show you what I've done so far after all that waffle. This is my start, and I'm just going to keep piecing it together, and then I'm going to make it into a journal cover. So I'm really pleased with what I've done so far. I think there's a good little mix of fabrics in there. And I know some people do it and piece it, English paper piecing is like a piece as you go type thing. But I wanted to be more, not planned, but I just didn't want like all the squares together and all the flowers together. And there's not many of the squares and there's not many of the spots. So I just wanted to mix it all together. You see, you've got one or two of the spots, you've got one or two stripes, you've got one or two of the gingham. I've got two different colours of gingham, got the red and the pink. So I didn't want it all to be a mush. I wanted it to be a bit more planned so it looks pretty. Seeing as I'm just learning, I thought it'd just give me an eye for what I want it to look like and what I want to do. So I've got a few pieces left. You get 56 in the bag of fabrics, so it's definitely worth looking. You have to put a minimum order in of £15. But you know, I always find something to get on Temu, something to buy. So I'm really impressed with this little kit. I mean, the fabric and the squares, it cost me about £3, and I got all this as well. I think this set, I think was about £3, and the fabric was about £1. So what, £4 for a bit of fun and to learn a new hobby. So yeah, definitely worth a look. If I can find a link for you, I'll pop it in the description bar below for Temu, and you can have a look on there. I'm not paid or anything by them. I just like them. Some of the stuff's a bit rubbish. You're just going to be prepared that some of it's going to be a bit rubbish. But what I did find was with things that I wasn't happy with, the smaller stuff, they give you a refund without you having to return anything. So that's really good. So I've been going through some of my old jumpers as well, and I've made this one into a cardigan. I just cut it down the middle like a steak. It hasn't frayed very much. It is a commercial one, and it hasn't frayed very much, but I bought it in the charity shop, and I really like the colour. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the band, but there you are. It's just a waist length cardigan, and I think it looks really nice. I think it's really colourful. I thought I'd pretty myself up today. The sun's coming back out, so I might go and get my work clothes on and go and get in the garden. So yeah, that's what I've been doing as well. I've been going through my wardrobe and I've been picking out jumpers that I've had for a long time that I don't really wear because I don't like jumpers. I'm a bit big up here now, and I don't like jumpers because I think it makes me look too busty. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the button band because I quite like to put some buttons on. If I can find some, oh sorry, if I can find some wool that matches this colour, I might do a bit of a rib band. But it's got paint on it, so I don't want to go too fussy because I just wear it for working around the house. So yeah, that's that. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about was a book that I found in my bookcase, which goes with the English paper piecing, and it's by Bernadette Banner. Now, I'd forgotten that I had this. She's got a fabulous YouTube channel, and she does vintage kind of old-fashioned dressmaking. She is a costume maker, or was a costume maker. I don't know whether she still is, in America, and she came to London, and I think she was working in the West End in London. And she's got a wonderful YouTube channel. Now she talks about the hand stitching, and I thought that if I looked at her book, it'd be a really good starting point because I would like to make a dress and a waistcoat, and I'd like to do them by hand and stitch them by hand rather than on the sewing machine. You saw a clip at the beginning of my video, and I've got a vintage antique Singer sewing machine, and it does work, and it's on a Singer treadle table. Now I've got the treadle sewing machine that fits with that table, but I haven't got the band, so I need to buy a new band. But I just thought it was a nice display piece in my living room. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to make the you know, the seams that hold all the fabric together. I'd like to do that on my vintage sewing machine, on my sewing machine downstairs. But I would like to learn to do French seams. You know, where I think it's a French seam where you turn it in and then you don't get any salvage at all, because I don't want to use an overlocker. I've tried an overlocker, and for my menopause brain, you got no chance of me learning to use a overlocker. It took me all day to set up for fixing one project, and that was just to put a piece of elastic in. Now, I don't have the time in my life for that. And yeah, no, me and overlockers, we just don't get on. I'm not going to waste my money. I borrowed one off a friend. And yeah, I'm just not going to waste my money buying one. So this is going to be a great book, because she talks about hand sewing in here. And she makes a lot of things like the walking skirt, and she's made waistcoats, and she's made Harry Potter stuff. And she's just fabulous. She's just fabulous. She talks about making pockets. And anything now that doesn't have a pocket, I want to make pockets to put pockets in, or pockets on the outside. So yeah, she's a fabulous resource. She talks about how to thread your needle. You have to ask permission to show anything in the book, so all I'm going to show you is the cover. And yeah, she talks about to you about pinning, about how to do pockets, how to prepare your fabric, different types of fabric. Just a sec. Different types of fabric. That was the alarm to tell me to get the dog up. How to do hand sewn buttonholes. How to make buttons from your fabric. Just show you one picture. There you go. How to make buttonholes from your fabric. So yeah, it's a fabulous little book. Adding gussets to sleeves as well. Adding gussets to sleeves. She talks to you about smocking and how to do smocking, pin tucks, resizing, lace insertion, gathers, how to do gathers. There you go. Cartridge pleats, pleating. So yeah, it's a great little book, a little something special. And then pleats off a walk-in skirt, and I have got the pattern for a walk-in skirt, and I would eventually like to make one. I think everyone, it's a rite of passage, I think, here on YouTube, that if you're getting into sewing, you make the walk-in skirt. So yeah, I do have the pattern. I'll show you that at some time on the channel, but I haven't got it out. I've also got a pattern for the waistcoat that I want to do. I'll just see if I can find it. Just a sec. I found it. I've got this waistcoat pattern, and I quite fancy making this one here, like a Bavarian kind of waistcoat. This one here. And I think that would go. I've got a brown dress that's kind of like a empire line, is it called, like a sort of Regency type bust line where it's gathered just under the bust, and I think that would go really, really lovely with that. I've got some Harris tweed fabric that I'd really like to use, that I want to use. I've got some blue and I've got some brown, so I thought I'd have a go at making one in blue, and then if I like it, I'll make another one in the brown. So that's my thinking for that. It is in my size. I can't see a thing because I've left my glasses in the bedroom. So yeah, this one down here. So I really want to have a go at that. I've also just found this as well, and I've got some fabric that I'd like to use. So I'm also thinking of making that for the winter next year. And I've also got some like netted fabric, and this is from the 90s, I think, this pattern, when everyone was wearing those really long collared patterns. Yeah, I think it was like late 90s, early noughties, when everyone was wearing like these long draped open tops. So I thought I'd have a go with the lace that I've got, of maybe making one of those. So they're my thoughts. They're my thoughts. So they're my plans coming up. I don't think I've got anything else to show. So yeah, they're my thoughts. I have been using my weaving loom. I'm sorry I didn't get around to putting any footage in this video for you, but we'll do that next time. And I will see you soon. So I think that's it for me for today. I'm going to go in the garden. I've also got my dye shed set up in the garden at the bottom. So hopefully I'll have some footage of that for the next video for you as well. So yeah, there's plenty to come, plenty to come. I find that summer for me is the time when I get my energy back, and I've got loads of time to be able to get out and do my crafting. So I hope you've enjoyed my video. If you have, and you would like to support me on Ko-fi, I do have a Ko-fi account. Link is in the description bar below. And just for the price of a small cup of coffee, you can help me out with the running of my channel, because when I upload my videos, I often have to go to the cafe and get a cup of coffee to upload my videos. So any help is muchly appreciated, and it means that I can get my videos out quicker to you. So if you're interested in support me on Ko-fi, as I say, link is in the description bar below. And if you'd like to support me here on YouTube, you can also like and subscribe. It's completely free to do. I don't have any memberships here on my channel. So a like and a subscribe does show YouTube that you enjoy my content, and they will show them to more people who enjoy things like what you do.